Hello and welcome to Three Questions With. Today my guest is Marianna from the Merrimack Repertory Theater. Hi, welcome to the show.
Morning, Kevin. How are you?
Living the dream every day, girl. So let's start at the beginning. What is Merrimack Repertory Theater?
Merrimack Repertory Theater is an amazing theater in the heart of Lowell, where we focus on putting on new plays, which is amazing. Not enough theaters do that. And really high quality theater that we make affordable to the broadest community possible.
Where are you located?
We are at 50 Merrimack Street. If you know where the Lowell Memorial Auditorium is, we share a building with them.
So let's talk about some of the plays. I just saw the latest one.
Oh, Little Orphan Danny?
Yeah, that was great. That was a great show and stuff. But people don't understand there's great theater right in downtown Lowell. You don't need to drive anywhere. If you're living in Lowell, Drakeage, all these surrounding towns, you go right downtown. Right?
It's true. I love theater. I used to drive into Boston for shows all the time. I was a subscriber at some theaters down there. And I realized I was always paying like $30 for parking, and it would take me like an hour to get in with traffic. And I started going to MRT, as we like to call it. And it was fantastic. It was like I could go to any number of a bunch of restaurants right before the show, just walk to the theater. I never had to worry about parking. There was always something within, a 2-minute walk. And it's fantastic. There's so many great things in the heart of Lowell. And the theater is really high quality. I think people don't always realize that. But so when you're in the professional theater world, sometimes there are really hot scripts and plays that people are like, oh, I have to do this show. I have to, it's something's made a debut in New York, and then it's got to make its regional debut. And we fight all those theaters in Boston for those shows. And quite often we beat them out, which is really exciting. Our artistic director has a lot of connections with the community and with certain playwrights who, because they love him, we will get the shows, which is really exciting. And it's all fresh. It's not, some musical that you've seen a million times before. We love musicals. But it's really, I think, the new plays, they focus on what the heart of theater is and what's current in our community and what's going on. So you're having these conversations with the community around you, and we can react to the community around us. We had a play earlier this year written by a Cambodian American fellow, and Vichechun. He was fantastic. And we have such a huge Cambodian American population in Lowell that we were so glad to be able to represent them on stage. And some other theaters, you don't get the opportunity to do that because you're doing shows that were written so long ago. So that's what I think makes MRT really, really special. And it's so easy to get to and affordable.
Let's talk a little bit about the theater itself, because it's a really cool, unique space.
It is. It's gorgeous. There are, I think it's about 275 seats, maybe give or take a couple seats, but they just redid the theater a little while ago. So the seats are super comfortable, they're roomy, and we have accommodations for anyone who needs to come in. If you have hearing problems, we have audio sets you can get at the box office anytime you need them. We have wheelchair accessibility, which is great. We have stools in the very back row in the balcony. Sometimes people, maybe they have leg cramps and they need to get up and walk around, or normal seats don't quite fit them comfortably. We have stuff for everyone, and I know we're looking into getting some subtitles going at some point. I don't know if I'm allowed to share that. We're working on it. I make no promises. But we really try to make it affordable for everyone. Sometimes we translate our programs if we think that's helpful. We do all kinds of things to make it so everyone can enjoy the show.
Well, what's neat is you can either be a subscriber to the whole series, or you can pick and choose your shows, right?
That's true. And they even have packages. So you can peek at the season coming up and say, oh, you know what? I think these 3 shows look interesting to me. I'm going to buy a package for just those 3. And then you can add on tickets if you want to. Or, let's say a show is getting amazing reviews and you're like, oh, I should have gone to see it. You can always buy more tickets or share them with people. And there's lots of ways to earn tickets as well. If you volunteer at the theater or as an usher, they give you a pair of tickets every time you usher that you can use for yourself. You can share with others. And when you usher, you can stay and see the show too. So you're getting, 3 tickets for just helping us out. And you're at the theater anyway. You only get there an hour in advance. So we try to make it easy for people to get involved. And we have local nights where tickets are only $5. And there's free beer and pizza after the show. we have ladies, we have all kinds of fun things.
So you jumped ahead of question, because that's what I was going to ask you. You have, those special nights, the opening night, like you said, Lowell night. Talk a little bit about that before we let you run.
Sure. So we have lots of fun evenings at the theater. Like I mentioned, there's Lowell night, which is the first show. I believe it's the first Friday. You can check our website, www.mrt.org, just to double check my timing. And we have opening night. There's always a party afterwards. So if you want to meet the cast, you can just join us and everybody who's just seen the show. And there's usually free food and alcohol. I think our next one is at the UMass Lowell Inn and Conference Center. So that's coming up on the 28th of April for the Villain Supper Club. So we have that. We have ladies' nights. We have, usually for each show, there's 1 or 2 talkbacks. So, for example, we just did a play called Fatty Arbuckle, the Lost Laughs, the slapstick tragedy of Fatty Arbuckle. It was all about the silent film star who had a huge fall from grace among a big scandal. And there were so many parallels to what was going on today. We brought in a professor from UMass Lowell to talk about all those parallels and what was going on and kind of peel back some of the layers of the show. So we have really interesting people coming in. Often the playwrights are around. And we have next season the most produced female playwright in the country. Lauren Gunderson is doing 2 shows with us, including a new piece. So she's going to be around, and she's a total rock star in the theater world. So you can meet her. There's all kinds of interesting things going on. You come check it out.
Okay, so how can people reach out to you? How can they learn more? Because the 3 questions turned in, I think, 6. So
I know. I keep adding things in.
That's okay. Yep.
So the best way to find out about everything is to check out our website, mrt.org. And you can also call our box office at 978-654-4678. They often have a lot of answers, but those are the best ways to find out all the information. We have a gala coming up where we're honoring Nikki Songus herself. So that's going to be exciting, but all of our special events, next year's shows are all on the website, and you can see what we're doing there.
Awesome. Really appreciate you taking the time of day to come on the show.
Thanks for having me, Kevin. I appreciate it.
You just watched 3 Questions with Marianna Wood from MRT. For more information about New England B2B Networking Group, visit our website at newenglandb2bnetworking.com.